All right. Hello, my wonderful students and your families. Today is April 6th, and it is a beautiful sunny day outside. I hope all of you managed to get some sunshine. I wanted to come on here and sort of prepare you for Wednesday. I've been getting some emails and some comments from students who are, I think, quite anxious about what the online learning is going to look like, what the expectations are. So I thought that it would be helpful if I came on here and sort of explained to you what has been explained to me and what the plan is for your teachers. So we had a staff meeting today, an online meeting, and I brought up my concern that it's a lot of information coming to you all at one time. Your teachers love you very much, and because of that, I think that we've all been reaching out in our own way, but some of you have 7 teachers, so that's a lot. And on top of that, if you have resource support or connections with guidance or Miss McKeegan, whatever, it might just seem like a lot. It seemed like a lot to me. And I know it's from a very good place because your teachers miss you and they want to communicate as best as they can. And we also are supposed to be the knowers. So it's hard, I think, for a lot of us, like I can say this from experience because I don't know what this is going to look like. And I know that we sort of have to be okay with this evolving as we do it. So, that being said, I wanted to outline at least what the English 8 social studies and English teachers are doing. That's me and Mr. Crew. So we're going to be using Google Classroom. I think all of your teachers that I know of are using Google Classroom to deliver their curriculum. And if you go to my Google Classroom, you'll actually see that I've added a lot of different teachers to it. So what does that mean? I'm obviously still your teacher, but I've added Mr. Crew, Miss Jodry, Miss McKeegan, Miss Paskowski, Miss McLeod, and Mr. Ferguson as teachers in the classroom so that they can see what's going on and we can sort of save all of like it being so many emails all the time, kind of keep everyone on the same page. And Mr. Crew and I are what you would call team teachers. That means that we teach the same subjects and we develop most curriculum pieces together. We always have, but what we're going to be doing in terms of online learning is specifically a collaboration between the two of us. Yes. So let's start with English, and I'm going to tell you what that's going to look like. So on Wednesday, we have it, all the assignments are set up and ready to go, and they're put on a time, so they're ready to release on Wednesday so that you have access. And I imagine most teachers are going to have that, so don't feel overwhelmed when Wednesday hits and you have 7 emails or 7 Google Classroom notifications. That's okay. We are going to be doing The Outsiders, which is it's a novel and it's very good. We normally save it for June, and we have the paper copies at school. But because we can't get into school, we're going to do it all online. We have the whole audiobook. It's so accessible, and if for whatever reason, say you couldn't get onto your classroom, it's also on YouTube. It's just so available. Many of your siblings and parents have already read it. The movie, I think, is also on YouTube, which save it for the end because it's very good and we will watch it together. But that novel is a really good entry point to online learning because, number 1, it's so accessible. Number 2, we know it very well. Mr. Crew and I have taught this book for as long as we've taught grade 8, and it really helps you build all of those literacy skills that are our focus going forward. I'm sure you heard this in one of the emails that went home, but the focus for online learning is English and social, not English and social studies, English and math. And that makes sense. Those are your most core subjects, and those are the ones that are harder to pick up when you have time away from them. Social studies we can pick up. Science we can generally pick up, but you really need to be persistent with your math and your English to keep those tools in your toolbox. So that's the focus. You are supposed to be doing 2 hours a day of online learning. If you can't do 2 hours a day, that's fine. If you can only access technology for a certain amount of time, that's totally okay. Some students can't access technology at all and have no internet, so learning packages are going home for them that weren't made by your teachers, so they're getting curriculum from other people, and I think we're just trying to make the best of a bad situation. Of course, it is more helpful to have interaction with your actual teacher who spent the whole year with you. Celebrity guest, Dallas, who has spent the whole year with you and, knows how you write, knows what we need to work on, what we've covered, what we haven't. And it's easy to say, well, everyone should just read at home, but not everyone has access to books at home. Not everyone is at a level where they're comfortable moving through a novel independently yet. That's just how it is. So this will allow us to sort of move through a piece of literature together, build our comprehension, build our reading skills, and take those strategies with us to grade 9 next year, which you're all going to be ready for. I promise you that. Yes. So 2 hours a day, what does that look like? Your traditional learning day is 5 hours. So this is much less. And if the focus is math and English, then certain subjects like social studies, which I also teach, science, healthy living, core French, what else is there? Tech ed, family studies. All of those are going to be kind of shelved for a bit. I think science and social studies assignments are still going to be posted on a bi-weekly basis, but as a social studies teacher, I can tell you that the goal of social studies is just to sort of keep carrying you through that narrative of Canadian history, building that knowledge, and if we get to it, we get to it. If we get to it, we get to it. That's the plan. So teachers are supposed to post assignments in 2-week increments. Mr. Crew and I are going to post the first 3 chapters of the book, and we're going to post the first sets of chapter questions, just like you would have done with me with Harry Potter, pretty much exactly the same way. And your responses will vary based on the time you have available to put into it, your how comfortable you are with the text. And if you can only respond in 1-sentence answers, that's fine. If you are on a writing roll and really want to work on your writing, go ahead, give me a paragraph answer response for all of them if you want. But that's kind of like a self-adaptation piece. What is the best work that I could do right now? Maybe that's I can answer 2 of the questions each chapter. As long as we're doing something and engaging with that text and building those comprehension skills and building our writing skills, then we are already so ahead of expectations for this challenging time. For social studies, again, you just don't have that much time to spend on it. You're not expected to spend a lot of time on it. So we thought that the best option would be to post the textbook, which I think accidentally already posted in some of your classrooms, even though I tried to have it scheduled for Wednesday. Don't worry about it. We're just going to keep moving through that narrative of Canadian history. So we're moving into the 1950s and 60s. We're going to be learning about the Cold War, its place in Canadian history, and honestly, how a lot of those themes feed into the world we're in right now. You guys know I love history, so I have no issue just talking about different concepts and world events and all of those pieces, but I realize that social studies is very hard for many students. If we can mostly move through the story and try and think critically about those events and their impact on the world, that's amazing. Okay, so we're going to post the book, and we're going to post general chapter questions for just an overview to get the base knowledge for the 50s and 60s. They're organized by page number. The book works with read and write, so it can read it to you. You can also, I think, copy and paste from the pages, bringing over important information. It's super simple to use, and I don't think you guys will have much of a problem with it. However, we are going to social studies is very much an in-class type of subject, and it really depends on your teacher's knowledge and their ability to sort of share the narrative or share the story with you. So we're just going to do our best with it. And again, if it's only 2 hours a day of school and the focus is English and math, that might mean 15 minutes a day of social studies. So perhaps you just save some time near the end of your week and work on social studies for half an hour or 40 minutes, and that's it. I wish I had a better schedule for you for time management. We struggle with time management even as school is now. I know adults in our building who still struggle with time management. So if you have 2 hours a day, you might think, okay, I need to focus on math and English. So maybe I do math and English every day, 45 minutes each, and a little bit of another subject. Maybe you want to do all English a day, all math a day, and then go back and forth that way, and maybe have a choose your own adventure on Friday. My suggestion to you would be to spend the first couple of weeks just figuring out how to make a time schedule for yourself, and to see what allows you to focus the most given the situation. So maybe that's clearing off a place at your dining room table where you know you can do your schoolwork. Maybe that's having a notepad and a pen or a pencil so that you can take notes as if you were in class and practice your writing, of course. It's all about figuring out what's going to work for you. Maybe that's listening to music. You can finally have music on and headphones, unlike in class. But yeah, we got to figure out for each of you what the best option is. I have many students who are sharing technology with their siblings who are also in school. So we can just do what we can do. If you have any other ideas of what would be helpful here for you, please let me know. I just don't want to bombard you with all kinds of emails and information and this and that. You guys know I'm here. You guys know that I care about you, and I'm just here to help set you up for success. I know that this is not a substitute for us being in the classroom together. Trust me. And I really wish that's where we were. But we're going to make do, and The Outsiders is awesome. You guys are really going to like this novel. And we're just going to take it one step at a time and be okay with things that have to change. So I'll leave it there. And on Wednesday, when everything comes at you, don't panic. We're just going to, maybe we make a little schedule, manage our time. Step 1, how much am I going to be able to realistically spend on each thing? What do I need to be successful in those subjects? That's it. Okay? If there's anything I can do for you on my end, again, let me know, and I'm going to leave it there. Bye, class.